All right, guys. So today we are going to be working on text features. We've been talking about informational text. You have been working on nonfiction and learning to analyze. But what I want you to do in your journals right now is to write down, just a quick write, just about 3 minutes or so. What is it that you know about informational text and text features? So this is kind of activating that prior knowledge, okay? All right, so if y'all will do that right now. Okay. All right, guys. All right, so just to remind you, because it's kind of like, we've had a weekend, and now we need to think a little bit about what we did last week. Informational text, just to remind you, remember, it is nonfiction, okay? It usually has different text features, pictures, right? So I want you to look at the objectives on the board. Today's lesson, we are going to be making inferences and using text evidence to support our understanding. Y'all are going to learn to make connections to confirm your predictions using these text features, okay? This particular piece has a bunch of different text features that you can use, all right? You're also going to be activating your prior knowledge. Okay, so now looking at this story here, what do you see? Skim and scan. Take a moment to preview the text. And remember, I've modeled this for you before. It's been a while. But when you preview text, you look at it. You're going to skim and scan, okay? Remember to look at the pictures. Look at the captions. Look at the bold-faced words, right? Look at your headings and your subheadings. All of that information is going to lead you towards a better understanding of a piece of text, okay? Whether it's on a STAR test, whether it is in a classroom and you're looking at a textbook, or even if it's online on a web page, okay? Text features are what you need to look at when you're trying to understand a piece of complex grade level text. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if you understand. Yay. All right, looks good. Okay, guys. So go ahead and look at it, and then I kind of want you to raise your hand and give me a prediction. What do you think this piece is going to be about? All right, Gerardo.
Okay, we talk about something from slavery, like back then.
Okay, all right. Something about slavery. Okay, and you'll notice, who is this piece going to be about, and how do you know?
Booker T. Washington.
Booker T. Washington. How do you know?
Because it in one of the captains says Booker T. Washington, and some.
It goes in the front. How Booker T. Washington helped millions of former slaves go to school.
Very good. Very good. Okay, this is actually a pretty interesting piece. I think y'all will enjoy it. Real quick, I want to direct your attention to your bold-faced words. Okay? Some of these may be familiar to you, but some of them may not be. But look at your bold-faced words. We have former. Can you repeat these with me? Ready? Former.
Former.
Abolished.
Abolished.
Yearned.
Yearned.
Determined.
Determined.
Celebrated.
Celebrated.
Okay, good job. Now, as we read, I want you to use your ability to understand new vocabulary words. Okay, I want you to look at the text evidence around the word and see if you understand the meaning. All right? So we're going to start reading, and I have the first paragraph. I'm going to read it for you, and then we're going to pause and think about it for just a second. Okay? Here we go. From slavery, how Booker T. Washington helped millions of former slaves go to school. It was a cold October night in 1872. A 16-year-old boy named Booker walked the dark streets of Richmond, Virginia. Dogs howled. Thieves hid in alleys. Booker shivered in his torn clothes. He was hundreds of miles from his home in West Virginia. He had no money, no food, and nowhere to spend the night. To get to Richmond, he had walked and walked. He had one dream, to go to a school called Hampton Institute, but he was still 82 miles away. Booker found a spot where the wooden sidewalk was raised up off the ground, and then he crawled into the small dark opening and fell asleep. To most people, this young black boy would have looked like just another former slave without hope. Nobody would have guessed that Booker T. Washington would become one of the most famous men on earth. All right, so we're going to hit our pause and think for just a second. Okay? Why was Booker in Richmond? Where was he going?
He tried to go to get an education.
Good, okay. He was trying to go get an education. He was trying to go to school. Now, what was the problem?
Oh, he had to walk all the way to Richmond. Is it Richmond?
Richmond.
And he didn't have no food or money.
Okay.
No where to spend the night.
And in this time in history,
the slave was going on.
Slavery.
He was slave.
Right. So wouldn't that pose a problem possibly for a young boy walking along on the streets?
Yeah.
Especially in the South, right?
Or something.
All right, good job. All right, a piece of property. Booker was born a slave in Virginia in 1856, and that meant he was treated like a piece of property, just like Hosea said, to be used and sold. Sadly, this was the reality for 4 million people forced into slavery in America's South. Booker was luckier than many. His owners rarely beat their slaves. Still, life was hard. Booker's family lived in a tiny shack, and they slept on a bed made of filthy rags. And for supper, they were often fed pig slop. All right, somebody help. What is pig slop?
I know it's food.
It is.
Is it what? What is it?
It is. It's the stuff that they put into a pig trough to feed pigs.
Oh, yeah, like all
Usually
this
it's like
stuff.
scraps and leftover from, meal preparations and things. It's gross, isn't it? Okay, so guys, as we read, you noticed, what were some of the text features that you saw? Give me an example. Pictures. What else?
This map right here of West Virginia.
Very good. There's a map of West Virginia. What else do you see? Headings. Subheadings. Excellent job.
The bolded words.
Bolded words, right? And then under those pictures, the captions. Ooh, it's you and your bad selves. Well done. Now I'm going to make you think outside of the box just a little bit. Think about a textbook for just a second. What are some text features that you see in a textbook? Like at the very beginning, you see what?
Like it's called what is it going to talk about?
Right, you do. And where the chapters and stuff are, that's called a table of what?
Content.
Right, you've got the table of contents, and then you've got the index in the back, and you've got the glossary. Now, here's a question. Why wouldn't you have index, glossary, table of contents in a piece like this?
Oh.
Okay, yes.
Because it talks about history.
Right, and it's also,
Very little.
right, there's less to it, right? And so since it's shorter, there's not going to need to be a table of contents and things like that. Okay, so what did we learn about? We learned about what?
Slavery and how was made.
How
Booker
he
T.
was-
Washington.
Oh, you take baby?
Exactly. And as far as the content, remember, look back over here at the objectives. We learned how to make predictions using what?
Text evidence.
That's right. And these pictures and things, and what are those called? Text features. All right, guys, y'all did a really, really good job. Tomorrow, we are going to continue with Booker T. Washington. We are going to be working with inferencing. And inferencing, can anybody tell me what that is? It's making a what?
Like,
Educated guess.
Based on?
Back to knowledge.
Very good. Background knowledge and text evidence. Well done, you guys. Thank you for your hard work today. I appreciate you.